So welcome to yoga. My name is Alex. It's a privilege and honor to be here from Toronto, teaching you today, April, for the first time, and Jamie, to encapsulate and integrate all the teachings into a single class that is easily accessible for you as you move forward. We're going to start today's class with the spine nice and straight. We're going to do 10 deep breaths into the nose and exhaling as deeply as we can through the mouth. Deep, powerful breathing. And as you breathe like this, nice and strong, remembering to move your spine very gently, follow along the journey that your breath is taking you on. As you inhale, you'll notice a little bit of a back bend. And as you exhale, you'll notice a little bit of a forward fold. That's the breath energizing you. It's vitalizing you. That's the breath relaxing you through release. It's making space. 2 more. Inhale, hold. And relax. Relax your thoughts, relax your feelings. Just relax everything that's going on in and around you. And the more you relax, the more you can let go, let be, and experience this moment for as it is. The energy is moving upward through the spine, from the tailbone, up towards the crown of the head. And you can feel the sensations from your nose all the way down to your toes. As you hold this place, remember, never force or fix. Just allow and accept yourself to be in this energy containment. And as you energize, when you're ready to exhale, whenever that is, just slowly take a little breath in and then exhale it all out of your body and just sit in normal breathing, which was now becoming more and more natural. So when you came in, the breath was automatic. We did some pranayama. And now the breath is becoming more and more natural. Fantastic. We can always sit for as long as we like at the beginning of practice, but it's also nice just to take a little sort of screenshot or photograph of how we're feeling right now. And when we come to the end of our practice, because yoga is meditation, it just goes through a giant integration. Every asana, every breathing technique leads us sweeter into this posture, which is the master pose. Right now, we're using a modification. We're using the bolster to help our hips up. And so we want to work toward not having the bolster or the block. So we'll start on our hips. We will take that beautiful bolster behind us as we lie down on it. And as we lie down on the bolster, pinning it to the ground, just shifting it toward your tailbone as you lift your hips up high. Relax those hips. Stretch out those legs. And then open up those arms. 5-pointed star. And when you take 5-pointed star, you always want to open up the legs as wide as you can, with, again, without feeling any fixing or forcing happening. Arms to your side. Just twinkle your fingers like stars, relax your head side to side, and feel that connection you have in the body to the hips. Let's squeeze the glutes, release the glutes, squeeze the glutes, release the glutes. Just making contact with the bolster. As we squeeze the glutes, release the glutes, you'll feel a little bit of a lift, and then a drop. You'll be able to relax the tailbone a little bit more. As you rock side to side, little tiny micro movements all in the right direction to help you along your way. And now that we're in the posture, let's start to breathe. Deep breath in. Feel all 3 parts of the breath, and exhale, let it go all the way to the ceiling.
notice as you're breathing, continuing that deep breath in, deeper breath out. You'll start to notice that your body is starting to relax. Now there is muscle tension that is slowly starting to be released. And this is all the involuntary tension we carry in our bodies. This tension needs to stop being so contracted. We need to learn to expand that energy through movement and let the medicine help the dis-ease, the disharmony. All the tension has to be something that is elastic. It has to contract, but it has to also expand. And by breathing like this nice and deep, you're expanding and contracting one of the largest muscles in the body, the diaphragm. And as you inhale, the diaphragm relaxes all the way into the belly. And when we inhale, that's when we're contracting. And then when we exhale, it releases upward, again, also relaxing. And this is where it expands. It goes up, up, up into the rib cage. And you get that beautiful upward feeling. So inhale, feel the contraction as it pulls and opens up and expands. And as you exhale, feel it expand as you contract. The two are one and the same. In expansion, there's contraction. In contraction, there's expansion. Release the possibility if you can find that elastic feeling. Good, we'll do one more. Full breath in. Holding the breath in, slowly stretch your arms up over your head, reach back, stretch back, and keep holding the breath. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Holding on to both knees, exhale, let it go. And as you rock out side to side, just getting a nice feeling here on the bolster as you roll out through the tailbone. And then start to do some toe taps. Heels and hips stay together, hands to our side, just touching the floor with our toes. And then bring our knees back in towards our chest. And you want to feel that whole line of movement, toes, knees, see if you can really bring them toward your shoulders, toes, shoulders. And as we feel this movement, gently, slowly, just letting yourself relax, let go. The weight of the legs is helping the pelvic floor to open. So as you bring your knees in towards your chest, and your toes back down to the ground, you're allowing yourself just to open up the pelvic floor by bringing a little bit of weight into the movement, the bolster giving you that lift that allows you to stretch. Relax and release. And when you're ready, knees come into the chest, kick the legs up to 90 degrees. Point toes, curl toes, point toes, curl toes. And the goal here is to get the legs as straight as possible. We're going to work the hamstrings. Point, curl, point, curl, point, curl, point, curl. And just let that feeling flow through your body, flow through your legs. Nice. That's it, 30 more seconds. Point, curl, point, curl. As you do this one on your own, you always want to extend your time. So if you're listening to a song, it might be to the halfway point, and then eventually you can go to the whole thing. But you want to just do it until you're exhausted. And that's you tiring out those muscles, breaking them down to build them back up, getting them warm and elastic. Hot yoga from the inside, that's at 10. Curl, tone, curl, point, curl, point, curl, point. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bicycle those legs, let go, let go. Good. Nice and loose with that energy now. Circulation through respiration. Let's start to breathe deeply. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good, now like treading water. Treading water, treading water. Getting more creative with the movement. Open up those legs, open up your hips. Move your feet to the side, front, down below. That's the sounds we're looking for. That's it. It's that freedom of movement that gives you those openings. But you have to line it up. Once it's aligned, then it can express itself freely as the muscle builds and strengthens. Also stretches simultaneously. Good. From here, we're going to kick the legs up into 90 degrees. We're going to bring the feet to 45 degrees. We're just going to hold here at 45 degrees. So legs at 45, stretch it out. Feel, feel, feel. Good. And now we're going to bring heels to the ground and back up to 45. That's one. Heels to the ground. That's two. Heels to the ground. 3. Heels to the ground. 4. Heels to the ground. That's 5. Heels to the ground. That's 6. Down. Feel that breath. 7. 8. 9. Good. And 10. Good. Legs at 90 degrees and pulse the legs. Legs stay straight, curl toes, and pulse them. Feel that your hip is coming slightly off the bolster, even just an inch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift those hips. Lift those hips. Straighten that leg, lock that leg, and you're just pulsing, bringing those feet as much as you can to your face, allowing the shin and knee to guide its way towards you as you just gently lift the tailbone off the bolster. Keeping legs straight, locking legs straight, folding, folding, folding. Imagine forward fold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, all the way down, all the way up. That's 1. All the way down, all the way up, lift the hips. Good, all the way down, all the way up, lift the hips. All the way down, all the way up, lift those hips. And you'll notice again that we're moving that energy from the legs into the hips and down to the lower back as we go a little higher. 5, 4, 3. And you can feel it right behind the lumbar spine and toward the belly button as it shoots out. Last one. Good. 5 points to relax. Hey-ya. And now you get that strong sensation, what you've been searching for, unlocking, opening up the hips. Again, it starts with understanding the foundation, what supports our spine, what increases our core strength. And core is anything that supports the spine. So the legs are a really important part of the core because it allows you to find that base, that support. But when we sit cross-legged, if our hips aren't open, we can't sit comfortably. If we can't sit comfortably, then we can't relax. If we can't relax, that posture, that master pose that you took at the beginning of class, sitting cross-legged in meditation, will never happen. The experience will never come. Because there's a certain physical knowledge your body has to surrender. It needs to be comfortable and relaxed in order to meditate. And so now you can already start to see the development of your practice as we work from the legs up into the hip and into the lower back. There's already a big difference in the feeling. And what the feeling comes from is that's your circulatory system. It's in the blood. So through blood and breath, through circulation, is being affected by respiration. And so as we inhale, exhale, we're increasing our sense of health and wellness. We're oxidating our blood, stretching our bones through the ligaments and tendons. tension, fascia being broken up. Lots of beautiful things that occur during the practice. Let's do one Brahmari to send all this knowledge into our experience. Brahmari is the strong honeybee breath. The stronger you hum, the more you'll affect things in your tissues and cells on the deepest levels of your body. Deep breath. Exhale through the mouth, let it all go. Okay, awesome. Deep breath in. And now that we've done 3, let's just slowly bring our hands to either side of the bolster, holding onto the bolster. Soles of the feet come back to the floor. Lift your hips up a little bit. Bring your bolster to a comfortable position. Knees come in towards your chest, and then we're going to make circles. Nice big circles. Big circles. So you're spiraling out. And as you move these circles, the heel-hip stays connected. So you're keeping the heels and the hips connected. And you're just moving through your knees. Your knees are going forward, backward, as you move around here. Allowing the movement to release the spine, help let go. And feel your lower back. Again, as we've been working up into that area, now you're getting more intensity. As we move from the lower back to about, let's say, middle back. Right? You want to feel that tension. You want to get eventually those feet touching the floor and rubbing across the mat, and the knees perhaps almost making it all the way over. And of course, when you do this, the sensations are very strong. Again, we're doing a stretch for our core. Our core is everything that supports our spine, so you can feel it very powerfully as the weight of the legs helps stretch those very tight muscles in the lower back. All right, fantastic. Other direction. Going the other way now. Making any necessary adjustments. Let it feel. Excellent. Slowly bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Lift your hips up high. Bring the bolster to your lower back. As you do this, hands to the thighs, tuck chin in, come all the way up into forward fold. And as you come into your forward fold, reaching for your toes. And as you reach for your toes, what's most important is that you get your legs straight. So don't sacrifice the range of motion in the upper body for the lower. We really want to stretch our hamstrings. So making sure that we get our legs straight first, pressing down through the knees by engaging the thighs, curling toes, and working those hamstrings as much as possible. I know it hurts like hell, but that's the best part. Because the hamstrings are the anchors of your body. As it was taught to me,
if the anchor is set, it doesn't matter how powerful your boat is, how much energy you have inside you, you're not going anywhere. So a little dinghy or a canoe could go past you. You have your anchor in the earth. If your hamstrings are super tight, you don't know how to pull anchor before we start moving, that muscle tension in the hamstrings goes to the lower back. What happens in the lower back? Well, it affects everything in your spine because, of course, your core is everything that supports your spine. So if the hamstrings are going to pull on the lower back, and the lower back is going to create problems for the spine, then we have to exercise our hamstrings through stretching and through strengthening. Good, let's start to bend our elbows. We've talked about this as pulsing, relax your head. Maybe just loosen up a little bit more. Little micro movements forward and back as we shake the head left and right. Feel, feel, feel. Good. Yeah, right, fantastic. We're going to bring our bolster into a vertical position now, lying back on our backs. Open up your heart center, let your head rock left and right, and just feel now all that energy moving upward now into the heart. So you want to imagine your body is like a rainbow, and the spectrum of color of light rises from red all the way up into purple. But the vibration, right, the wavelength changes as it moves upward. So it might be very dense down in the hips, and as you open and loose that up, it starts to get brighter and brighter, and the colors start to change, maybe darker and darker, longer wavelengths. So the sensations you have in the hips might not be the same as in the heart, but that doesn't mean it's still not the wave. The wave is always rising and falling back into the sea. So whether it's a big wave, a little wave, a curly one, a wave always has its home in the sea, and that's the ocean of your heart. And of course, we're not talking about the physical heart, we're opening up the chest right now, yes? But it's like saying the mind and identifying the mind as your brain. It's not your brain, and your heart is not your physical organ. It's an experience. You want to have that experience as intimately as possible with yourself. So one of the best ways to do that is to breathing. Now that you're in the asana, make it an asana, make it come alive. And what makes an asana is the breath. If it's just lying here, opening up our chest, then it's just a posture, it's just a stretch. What makes it an asana is the breath. So as we inhale, exhale, we feel that breath flowing through the body. That we got things nicely opened up, stretch our arms all the way up over our heads, reach for the floor behind you, rock your head side to side. Good, feel that tension as you open up from the tailbone through to the sternum. And then when you're ready, hands to thighs, curl your chin towards your chest, curl your toes if you wish, and candy cane yourself up as you come into forward fold. From forward fold, feel that elastic feeling as you tuck chin and bring yourself all the way back. Stretch back, reach back. Beautiful. Coming back up, hands to thighs, curl chin towards the chest. Slowly making your way up.
Feel every part of the movement. Stretch always as far as you can, finding a new range of motion. And then all the way back, vertebrae by vertebrae. Fall back, open up your heart. Good. This is quality versus quantity, so we don't have to do a lot of these. It's all about the ones that you're doing, how well are you doing them? So instead of thinking about doing 50 or 100, what you want to think about is the ability of longevity and enjoyment. The sensations at your spine fields from your head through the chest and down into the pelvic floor. And as you roll back from the hips through the heart and into the head. And then seeing how the breath affects that all. Maybe holding the breath as you inhale, bring yourself up. Exhale forward. Maybe holding that exhale out and rolling yourself down with the exhale already happened. Play around with different techniques as you move through this. When you're at home, you can play a song, and for 3 to 5 minutes, you can just do this all the way down, all the way back, 360-degree stretching. As you work from your head through your heart and into your hips. Every time going a little bit further, a little bit farther, a little bit deeper. All right, fantastic. On the next one, let's lie back. Open up our heart center, stretch our arms as far back as we can. Open up the legs, and let's do one Brahm right here. Deep breath in. Three sighs or 3 deep breaths out. Hey, relax your hips, relax your heart, relax your head. These are the structures of that structural sort of complexity that we spoke about during our weekend workshop. The hips, the chest, right, or the heart, and the head. These areas have a lot of complexity, structural complexity, especially when it comes to your skeletal system. And so, of course, where there's bone, there's ligament, tendon, and muscle. Of course, those areas have rich complexity. And so when we exhale and sigh, we stay focused on those 3 areas. What's our head doing? What's our heart doing? What's our hips doing? Then we start to get into this core base understanding that underlines all asana, whether it's vinyasa or yin, power. You start to realize where it comes from. There are 3 sources, primary colors, if you will. Hips, heart, head. And if you draw the energy up from the hips through the heart into the head, it's very powerful. If you notice how we started today, we started with sitting. So we started to do breathing. We got the head aware of what was happening, aware of the breath, and from there we dropped all the way down into the hips. So it's very cyclical. And the more your yoga practice takes on this cyclical experience, this circular feeling, the more you're going to hear the music of the spheres, the more your awakening or love will start to present itself to you. The feeling of bliss and joy will be a casual thing that you practice on a daily level, gathering happiness and strength. And that's what a practice is. The ability to communicate what you need and what you want without any external stimulus, external materialism, substance, being able to generate the feeling for yourself. Right, from here, we're gonna just bring our hands to our thighs, tuck our chin towards our chest. We're just gonna reach towards our knees, that's one. Just towards our knees, that's 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Feel that curve, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Feel the curve, more curve, 4. 1, 2. Watch your head, strengthen your neck muscles by keeping chin tucked. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All the way up. Reach for toes and stretch out that lower back. Again, forward fold is great. If you notice in the first round, I was encouraging the stretching through the hamstrings. Now that the hamstrings are nice and stretched, notice why we reach for knee. What area in your body right now is very lit up? What are you experiencing? It's your lower back now. So feel the lower back, breathe into it. Try and create more of a cat back. So try and push that part of your spine back. Try and protract and retract as you move your spine just slowly forward and back. Stretching, letting the head relax, the chest relax, opening up the heart and releasing through the hips. Good, let's pulse a little bit through the knees, through the elbows. Just let things flow, let things go. Just moving around a little bit as you start to bring that sensation higher and higher and higher. All right, let's keep strengthening. We're gonna come back to our bolster. We're gonna flip it now the opposite way, horizontal, and we're gonna pin the bolster. So when we pin the bolster, we're really pushing down on our lower back. How do you know you're pinning it? Well, release your arms. If you can release your arms and rock side to side, you're definitely pinning it. Good. Chin stays tucked. Reach for heels. Reach for heels. Reach for heels. And if you can reach the heels, make your way further. Reach, reach, reach. That's it, feel. Go as far and as deep as you can go. 10, 9, 8, keep chin tucked. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're just gonna go right side. Reach right side. And then when you just reach one side, you can clearly go further. Good, reach as far as you can. Try and touch those toes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching to the other side. 1, 2, that's it. 3, 4, doing great. 1, 2. Feel left side obliques 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Stretch it out. Open it up now. Different place of the bolster. Just feel it. Relax your head side to side. Take a deep breath inside out. Right underneath the ribcage, you can feel that diaphragm. As you stretch it. Feel all the sensations that come about because you're opening up so deeply. arms stretch up over top of head. Really get a big stretch in. Rock side to side. Twinkle fingers like stars. Roll up the feet. Feel, feel, feel. As you open up, as you elongate. Push down on the bolster. Bring your hands to your thighs. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. And bring yourself up towards your toes. And again, stretching and pulsing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Coming back. Let's pin the bolster one more time. And again, how do we know? Well, we can release our hands. Good. Once the hands are released, you're going to bring your left knee in towards your chest. Then the right knee. Good. We're holding now. We're going to curl forehead towards the knees. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if you feel a tremor, that's the sacred tremor. That's your nervous system getting involved. We're going to play with that. We're going to ride that. 10, 9, push through it. 8, 7, relax through it by pressing into the bolster. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax back, stretch. Open up those solar plexus. Notice we're going higher in our sequence. And as we go higher, you're going to start to feel more energy. Really breathe through those solar plexus. Breathe through those rib cages. Squeeze glutes, release glutes, squeeze glutes, release glutes. Just get things moving and grooving. Movement is medicine. Excellent. Hands over top of the head. Then come down to the thighs as the chin tucks towards the chest. Lean forward. Stretch forward. 10, 9. Notice the change every time you come into forward fold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's continue to find that tremor, find that uncomfortable edge, and learn to get comfortable in it through strengthening our body. So again, pin, knees in. Good. And when we're ready, we're going to do boat pose. Legs straight and lift yourself up. Pin that bolster. 10. Push down in that bolster to the lower back. 9. Breathe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Down we go. Forward fold. Relax. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Foot bolster. Lie down. Open apart. Last round. And as you open up the heart, you'll feel the fascia. It's all very tight around the ribs, right? You want to really open up your rib cage. Especially now, after all that work, we've contracted, we've expanded, we've flexed, we've released, and now you want to really use the breath to open up the micro movements, to open up that, dense, that dark, and illuminate it with life, with breath, with energy. Because it's a subtle reality. What's happening in between the ribs, into the organs, that's a subtle reality. And you want to be able to go into that subtle reality. Express it, feel it. vortex upward. Roll it one more time forward. And I'm feeling, noticing the sensations starting to change as we move from the past into the present. Yoga only and forever exists in the present because you're aware of the breath. The breath is always happening. You're living. What we want to do is become alive to our living, awake to our waking. And let's keep that journey moving upward. We're going to release the bolster now from behind us. Just place it down on the other side. We're going to take the right foot in front, forehead to knee, and watch this leg stays to relax. As I lean back, I'm going to wait for the psoas to engage. Oh, there it is. Leg pops up, that's where I want to hang out. And I do little movements once I'm there. So find that place where that leg will shoot up, and then you want to hang out there. And you want to keep curving. It's all about the curve, the bend. What we call candy cane. 10, 9, really engage that muscle. You should feel like your foot is not in your control. It's floating because of the curving. 5, and moving because of the curving. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Forward, relax. Hiya. Slowly, gently with the left leg now. And now left leg down, right leg relaxes, lean back. Same thing here. I'm gonna curl. Oh, there goes the leg. I'm gonna stay there, play there. Good for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. I know it's a disgusting feeling as you work the adrenals, right? Adrenaline gets released. Lots of different things get released. But that feeling, that sickly feeling, that's the purge. That's what needs to clear. And that's a good feeling. Like once it happens, it feels amazing. When it's happening, not so good. But we always want to see the long view. And these movements are wonderful because that gross feeling that you're feeling is you releasing the feeling. So when the psoas is releasing that tension, that energy, that electricity is actually leaving your body. Because why? You're producing it. You're doing the output. You're tensing it, and then of course you're releasing that tension. And it flows through respiration, through circulation. That's why we take these moments through forward fold or through using the bolster and backward bend to just let the energy flow through your body, get reabsorbed through circulation from respiration. Good, coming back. My favorite one, both legs straight. Curve your body as much as you can. We're gonna engage both. There it goes, and now play here. Good, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Best part. Relax down, knees in the chest. Stretch it out. So this is the area which separates normal people from circus performers, dancers, gymnasts. This is what they have that normal people don't have. It's not the exterior muscles you see, it's the interior ones. So the psoas and the iliacus, move the legs with the spine. It's a beautiful, beautiful line of strength and energy that most people don't have. So again, it's a deep front line that runs nose to toes. So it's all connected through the fascia. But these chains do have centrifuges or points of interest. And so one of the interesting states for us as yogis is this area in the solar plexus to increase internal fire, bring strength to the body and self-confidence, which is very, very important feeling these days, especially amongst so much mental health and dis-ease. So it brings harmony, it brings balance. There's a natural euphoria with it. And of course, I've topped it up because we're going to do it again. All three movements, but this time from the bottom. You have lots of time to break, recover. Take your right sole foot down to the floor. Bring the left leg straight. As we do this, we're going to curl upward. So it starts with the chin. I'm going to reach with my hands. And I see I have to come up to the point where that leg lifts, so that's not even high enough. So my psoas is still not engaged. There it is. And we hang out here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Down we go. Hiya. Relax. Squeeze glutes, release glutes. Squeeze glutes, release glutes. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Shake it out. Star fingers, toes. Awesome. Don't want to cool down too much. Left sole of the foot to the floor, right leg straight. Again, same thing. Hands to either side. We're going to curl the chin, tuck up. This isn't enough. Got to keep going. Oh, there it is. And hold it. Feel it in your spine. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Down we go. Relax. Hiya. Squeeze glutes, release glutes, squeeze glutes, release glutes. As you breathe, again, you're just relaxing that lower lumbar. You can feel it. It's starting to curve. You don't want it to be voluntary curve, right? You want it to flatten because you just want to relax those muscles. They're getting really stressed. Hopefully you're exhausted. That's the goal. You want to exhaust those muscles as much as you can. And it's through exhaustion that they get stronger. All right, perfect. Hands outside, curl chin to chest, and then slowly coming up again. Nothing's happening. Wait for it. There it is. And go. 10, 9. Last one. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Easy to chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. All right, hands outside, around the world. Around the world with the knees. Notice about the bolster, it's a little bit different. That's why we start with the bolster. Gives a little more cushion. But this allows you to really go from side to side. You can really shift left, look right, shift right, look left. And really bring those knees down towards the ground. Again, heels, hips stick connected. Really just work through your whole spine. Especially when they're on the ground, you can really feel the whole part. Good. Have a direction. Feel every part of it. Lift those knees up as high as you can. Drop them down as far away as you can. Let those feet glide across the floor as you open up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Soles of the feet onto the floor. Let's do some pelvic tilts. Pelvic tilts really easy. Tilt up, tilt down. We do this when we sit. We're just going to do a couple now. So release that tailbone. Just pelvic tilts up and down. Getting ready. Opening up our bodies. Feel the weight to the feet. Press into the feet as you lift up. Relax as you bring the tailbone down. Press up and release down. press through the feet, lift up, release down. Work that tailbone. Just the more you can open up this area and have it moving independently, the more freedom you're going to have. The more movement, range of motion. It's very, very remarkable just what happens when you unlock the hips. How much power and strength, how much stability, how much fluidity will be increased just by stimulating more of this center. All right, fantastic. Legs go straight. Good, tuck chin towards the chest. Look up at me. Hands to thighs. Relax your feet and lift yourself all the way up, all the way forward, and now all the way back. Take your time. That's one. Two. And again, I like to do this to song, to music, so by playing a 3 to 5 minute song here, even if this is one of the only practices that you do, negating all other things, waking up and just starting to go forward and back. We're never throwing ourselves up, so we can't do any injury. You're going nice and slow. But remember too, you can move fast or slow is swift, swift is fast. If you're feeling it, let it flow through you. There's a cool energy that awaits. When you do it with a little bit of speed and momentum, but it's really coming through the breath. And on the next one, forward fold, bend those elbows, pulse, feel again the difference as we keep building, as our picture keeps becoming clearer and clearer. All right, fantastic. And coming up, we're gonna place our hands behind us, soles of the feet come together. Let's make some hips, circles, little hip circles. So move the hips around. Let those arms go into that long frame. Do it other direction. And right now I'm warming us up for weight bearing. So all this time, we've done all this beautiful core stuff through the hips, heart, and head, predominantly focusing on the hips. But of course, when you start working one, all the others get affected. So now we're working on opening up once again through pelvic tilting, through pelvic twisting, right? Circling, we're finding those movements. Good, other way. And you'll notice it in your lumbar. This is a really powerful movement, especially sort of in the middle to end of class, because now everything is already stretched and energized. You can actually feel the long lines of energy moving from the hip up through the lower back. All right, fantastic. From here, we're gonna bring the feet down to the floor. We're gonna crawl up, hip to heels, finding that right pose for ourselves, just starting to weight bear. The important thing is to come up on your toes, side to side. You want to feel everything before you go into the posture. You want to know what you're working with, how your body's doing, get those initial cricks and cracks out of the way. And there's no right or wrong, right? This is all just expression, your expression, my expression. You got the nice long frame to support you, so you're not using any muscle in your arms. Your legs feel good, but you're dividing the weight. All right, so from here, we're gonna crawl on through If it's too much, come all the way forward and take the weight off the heels. If it's not too much, then you just ground yourself in. Get yourself nicely in. Again, as I said before, learning how to weight bear through the joints, really important now. It's a different way of opening the hips. And just like all the other postures, just taking that time to first get comfortable. Once you're comfortable, then you can relax. Once you can relax, you can start your yoga, your breathing, that deeper introspection. As you inhale, exhale, you're starting to move internal energy around. Good. Now thinking again with the J spine in mind, you're going to keep your chin tucked and you're going to lift your hips, come all the way up, look up, stretch your heart, and then J curve down and sit back down. Hop around, feel. When you're ready, same thing as the J curve. Keep the chin tucked, lift up, head is last to come up. Stretch, maybe bring your arms up. And when you're ready, same thing, hands down to thighs, curl the chin, J curve down, and let yourself flow into it. So, it's a quality, not a quantity. So let's do as many of these as we can over the next minute. And taking your time, changing your foot position, right? Just feeling that curve. And remember, you're just shooting, looking straight at the ground, shoot straight up. And that'll be your natural movement, the same one we did down below. And again, same thing, just look down and you will find your way. The less you think about getting up and down, the more athletic you become. Meaning, the more the movement is something you do. All right, you want to get up? No problem, up. You want to go back down? No problem, back down. Right, you got to train your body to follow that line of energy that you've been working on the floor, now on the vertical axis, from horizontal to the vertical axis. So you see, and you'll notice once you start doing this, it's all about the hips. You look down, hips. The hips lift you up. The hips bring you down. But you have to feel that hip-heel connection that we've also been working on. Right? I just know my hips go down to my heels. Hips up. Down to my heels. Up. And I'm keeping that J curve. My neck is in a great way. Now I can really open it up. 10, 9, 8. Great for the knees. Keep them opening up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Up we go. Relax our hips side to side, little circles, and then move them into figure eights. Shift left, shift right. Good, legs straight, the biggest circles you can make. Tailbone forward, tailbone back. Try and make the biggest circles you can make. Another direction, biggest circles you can make. All right, fantastic. Right foot forward, left leg back. Let yourself get into a nice warrior one stance. You want to find the edges of your mat. The knee comes in and out, right? Where's it coming into? Just over top of the ankle. Where's it coming out of? It's just going into straight leg. So we're charging in and back. If your knee goes too far forward, just open up your lunge a little bit more. You want it just to float over top of the ankle. And why? It's as we said earlier. Once the the knee is over top of the ankle, you just step, nothing changes. However, if it's forward, then you have to come back and then do that. So it's just a physical dynamic to be aware of. So we go in and out of that beautiful point. We want to rest the knee over top of the ankle because that's how we find our locomotion. Left leg is back and straight. Just starting to warm it up. Feel, 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 feel. Good. We're going to sink into it. Feel. Lift arms up. All the way up. Stretch up, reach up, look up. Exalt, star fingers, find that breath. And now holding the upper part of the position, straighten the leg, bend the knee. Open up those hips, straighten the leg, bend the knee. And you'll feel all sorts of sensations for 10, 9, open up your heart, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding, you really get to experience the position now in a dynamic way. Feel it, find the breath, exalt it, make this your best part. 3 parts to the asana, 3 parts to the breath, 3 stages we've been working on, hips, heart, head. Now it's with the head. Full, beautiful joy to move that energy upward through warrior 1. Fantastic. Legs straight, arms at your side. Step back. Left foot in line with right. Here we go. Same thing as before. Now the hips are sideways. So again, warming up the hips, right? Just warming up the hips. Once we get in that dynamic, it's for the heart. And once we find the posture, that's for the head. Feel, feel, feel. So hips, heart, head is not just a physical thing. It's also an energetic thing. It's always connecting. Okay, I'm doing yoga. What am I doing for? All the hips, for the base, for the foundation. So I need to get things going. All right, now things are going. Let's line up that posture. Arms come up and through. Stretch it out. Warrior 2. Okay, doesn't feel great. I'm in it. What do I need to do? Well, this is your dynamic time. This is where you start to breathe and feel. Now you're moving more into your heart. You're getting into the heart of the pose. What does it feel like? Why is your hip dragging? Or what happens if I shift my knee a little bit? Or if I bring my arms down, or if I bring my arms up, or I let them sweep through again and just reset, looking right, looking left, feel, open up. Because I'm here with you, I'll tell you exactly what to do. Right knee pushes out towards the right side. Open up that knee, open up that back left hip in opposite direction. So knees going right, hips going left, line it up, push tailbone forward, stretch arms, look over right shoulder, and find your way into the posture. You want to feel like someone is pulling on both arms. You want to feel like someone is pulling on both knees. Someone's pulling on this knee, pulling on this knee. Your body, someone's pulling this hip back, this hip forward. Everything is pulling. 10, 9, breathe. 8, 7, open up that knee. 6, 5, 4, feel it through your back. 2, and 1. Good. Favorite posture without any hesitation. Coming forward, touch the ground, lift your back leg. And as you lift your back leg, arms come up, and then hands come back down. Arms come up, and then come back down. 3, 4, find that J curve. Lift your spine up. Candy cane. 5, keep your chin tucked. 6, don't know what I mean? Keep your hands on the ground, just literally lift up. Lift. 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Relax down. Relax the foot. Relax the foot. Feel. 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 Back to warrior 2. Stretch out. Reach into warrior two, get that dynamic. And when you're ready, eyes on me, straight into warrior three. Feel that flow, feel. Straighten that front leg. Curl those toes, point those toes behind you, feel. Twinkle those fingers like stars. Look straight down the ground. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Plant through those toes. 3, 2, and 1. Down we go, warrior two. Hiya, and relax it out. You can feel it. 2, and 1. Warrior one. Relax. Feel the difference now. Tailbone forward. Tailbone forward. Tailbone forward. All right, spectacular. Step, step. A little change. Open, close. Widen out. And feel. It's going to feel differently on this side. It always does. Left to right, working on hips going forward, 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 forward. And you notice there's a connection. As the hips go forward, right, you want to feel that back bend. You want to really push everything back. It's that J curve in motion. You're feeling it. Feeling it. Hips go forward, well, head's going to go up. Hips go back, head goes down. I'm playing with this idea of a wave, right? 4 curves to your spine. It's not linear, even though they appear linear, because when we connect them all together, we can move them one way, we move them back, we move them forward. Ideally, your spine is not linear. It moves in a linear way. It's moving upward and downward, but ultimately it curves the whole way through. All right, fantastic. From here, bend knee, lift arms up. Good, and lock that in and continue. Feel as you work lower body, opposite to upper body, but you're connecting them. Try and feel that connection through the chest down into the knee. Sternum, hip, knee, foot, all the way back up, fingertips, head, shoulders, sternum, hip, knee, foot, all the way back up. Right? Scanning your body. Good. Lock yourself into the posture. Breathe now. Feel the circle as we talked about earlier. Hips, heart, head. Right? Nose to toes. Feel the circle. Express yourself. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come down, straighten the legs, step back, warrior two. Good. Once you get to that warrior two position, again, same thing, forward and back, forward and back. This time hips are to the side. And then you want to really feel it open up. So again, my warrior two feels like this. If you watch my hands, everything comes into the center and then I open everything up. It's like 2 refrigerator doors. Open it up. 2 refrigerator doors. Open it up. And you see everything. You're fully exposed, but you're super protected on the tips. But you're fully exposed on this line, and that's why whatever we're facing, whatever our challenge is, we're facing to the side, and we're not showing any vulnerability from the sides. But we're opening up our vulnerability in front of us and behind us. As we're balancing as if on a balance beam. All right, from here, lock it in. Warrior two, feel it. Stretch into it. Move around that knee. Feel the connection into the body. Straighten that back leg. Shift hips forward and back. Open up those arms, shoulders. Rock your head side to side. Feel, feel, feel. Twinkle fingers like stars and hold. You see how long it takes to get into a posture? It's minimum 30 seconds, always. There has to be some play, some give. If you really want to open up, create permanent lasting change in your asana, you gotta get to the level
where the movement and the breath are working simultaneously. You're always moving, you're always breathing, so might as well make it natural rather than automatic. You never want your practice to become something that goes on autopilot. You want it to enter into a state of meditation, enjoying every element until you need the next. Good, from here we're gonna go right to warrior three. So same thing as before. We swing the arms down, we touch the floor, and then we're just gonna lift ourselves up and then back down. 2, right? Any way that feels. 3, right? It's your body. You have to feel your lift. Back leg is just lifted, no big deal, nothing crazy. But just feel the toes, feel where your weight is, feel how you charge upward. It's the same like that movement we did earlier, but that was with 2 feet. Now you have to learn how to do that movement with 1 foot. Good, and back to warrior 2. Relax. As we talked about in class, this is the archer, and we're ready to become that arrow. All right, here we go. Let it fly. All the way through, warrior 3. Feel that energy. Tuck that chin in towards the chest. Look down at the floor. Straighten the leg. Arms twinkle out. All right, feel micro movements. Back leg lifts as high as it can, but not too high. Throw you off balance. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stepping back, warrior 2. Feel it. Come the archer again. Good, warrior 1. Exalt. Feel the changes in your body. Good, and stepping up to the front of your mat. Right, just relax here. Big circles. Big circles. Notice the difference now in your hips from when we started. Big change just by doing 3 postures. 6 if you can. Be done on each side. No big deal. Good. Other way. Roll those hips. Feel the difference in your body. Notice the connection you feel. They're not separate now. You actually feel them as one. The upper body, the lower body connected through the psoas, which we've been working on the whole time, the solar plexus, right? What we call it, your core. Not your abdominals. Your abdominals are just very important, but isolated. It's not the only thing that's working. Good. Let's relax here into our squat, slowly dropping down, back into squat. Bounce into it again. Notice the difference now, even within your bones. It's amazing. Good. Let's do 1 Brahmari here in squat. Deep breath in. Fantastic. Slowly bring the hands behind you. Soles of the feet come together. Open up those hips again. Butterfly them out. Just feel. Tilting forward, back, side to side. And notice if there's any tension. And when you do so, coming forward, rock it out side to side. Left, right. Move your spine around as you go left and right. Good. Holding on to the feet, or you can bind underneath, whichever you prefer. Bring yourself down, stretch everything.
all the lower back, all the upper back, all the neck, all the head. Everything is nicely stretched. Tailbone pressing into the ground as you curl all the way in two directions, downward and upward. Find that breath once you get physically in the posture, and really just explore how deep you can go, how far you can go without pain, without pleasure, without aversion, without any hindrance. Just flowing, just knowing the beauty of this moment, the experience of your practice. Let's do one Brahmari here. Deep breath in. Yourself in a little bit deeper into the pose. Last little bit. You really focus on bringing your spine into that forward fold, that elongation through respiration and circulation. Slowly unhooking the arms. Let's make our way up into a comfortable seated position as we spoke about. Now you can just cross your legs, heels and knees in line, or you can start working toward more open hips by bringing the heel toward the tip. One heel toward tailbone, other heel toward tailbone. That's the first part. And of course we start to crawl up from there, moving toward the head. So just start nice and slow. And if that doesn't feel good, opening it up, just bring it more closer together. Heel and knees. And that way, the openness will be there for you in time, but we want to be comfortable as possible. As we said before, we were sitting on bolsters before, now we're not. That's the power of yoga. So find that elongated spine. You find the elongated spine just like we did the J curve. You've got to curve the chin, right? Candy cane. Candy cane. Lift yourself up. Lift yourself up from the ground. Like a cobra rears its head, comes up through the spine, pure muscle. It's a lifting feeling through the chest. If you need to, look up and then tuck your chin, look down, and then look up, and then look down, and just keep yourself upward, really strong. And how you're going to make yourself even stronger is through breathing. Let's do 10 strong breaths. All the way in. movements along the way, micro movements to help relax any tension in your hips, any tension in your heart, any tension in your spine. If it's still uncomfortable to sit, go to the bolster, back to the bolster. Not ready yet for the floor. Floor is a master posture. It is the hardest asana of all 72,000 asana, is sitting meditation. It's harder than headstand, it's harder than handstand, it's harder than crow, it's harder than everything, all of them. Sphinx, the ability to sit upright and long with the spine, takes all of those asanas, to employ all of them in order to find the seventh heaven. Forward folding, backward bending, side bending, twisting, all twin lock, what you're doing right now. The ability to lift up, weight bear through the base of the spine, tuck through the chin, lift heart, chin-heart connection as the crown of your head or your ponytails is a better trigger point, lifting you up through your ponytail. Imagine starlight is drawing you upward against gravity. Starlight drawing you upward against gravity. So gravity flows in through the breath. You can feel it on the exhale. You can also feel it on the inhale, but you can also feel yourself lifting up against it on the inhale. Okay, now that you've done your strong breathing, deep breath in. Exhale fully. Inhale, hold the breath. Holding the breath. Bring yourself up, 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 up. And as you bring yourself up, 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 listen carefully. Squeeze your eyes really tight and see the blackest black you've ever seen. Squeeze harder. Japanese sumo face. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. The blackest black, blacker than black. If you're seeing color, go deeper, deeper, deeper. If you're seeing shapes, go deeper, 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 deeper. Stimulating your nervous system. Keep holding the breath. Relax the eyes closed. Relax the eyes closed. And let the eyeballs roll up in toward third eye center behind closed eyes. Let them roll up. Feel a flickering starting to occur as if it was dancing candlelight. And this is inducing REM now, exactly what happens when you're dreaming. And when you dream, whether it's a good dream or a bad dream, or a lucid dream, it's something that happens to you. Same with meditation. You have to work hard at entering into that state, letting it happen to you. If you're still holding the breath, you can let it go. If you've already let the breath go, just relax. Let that rolling of the eyes become natural. Let the breath become natural. Let the posture become natural. As you start to understand more and more what yoga is. Yoga is meditation. The ability to sit here and do all the things you're doing takes all 72,000 asana. The journey from there, when we started class, to here, is always arriving now. Here and now, our presence is gifted us by being present. Our presence expands because of the present moment. And that's the gift. The gift of being present is that your presence expands. Not April, not Jamie, but the heart, what we call love, what we call awakening. It's not a label, it's not even a word, it's a direct experience. Everything we've been doing has helped us navigate to this place. In many ways, it was all knowledge of experience.
until this moment, which is pure experience onto itself. Good, 10 strong breaths. Let your spine undulate. Let there be micro movements. That's it. All the way in, all the way up. All the way in, all the way up. Full energy, full power. Last chance to get all the good stuff. Everything you need to be mom, daughter, friend, partner, co-worker, employee, star child. Just let this happen right now. Let the magic happen. That's it. 2 more, nice and strong. Full inhale, full exhale. Push all that oxygen out of your body. Carbon dioxide. Inhale oxygen. Exhale carbon dioxide. And inhale, hold. Final round. Hold, 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 hold. And just be as comfortable as you can be. Relax into this feeling. Literally, head, shoulders, everything relaxes. The elongation now is occurring because of the energy. And as you hold this energy inside you, make peace with it. Make peace with your strength. Make peace with your posture. Because the secret to all of this, from comfort to relaxation, exists in rest. And rest is where we find peace. That's the gift of what meditation is, what true yoga is. There is nothing to do. There is just fullness of being. The work has been done. You are born. You have a body. You have a nervous system. You have intelligence. You have wisdom. You have experience. You have everything you need. This has become a hallmark or a platitude. But see through the platitude, see through the hallmark. It's more than just a phrase and an expression that gets thrown around. You really, really do have everything you need inside you. And it's okay to fill it with other things. But the verb, the constant knowing, whether you're taking new things on or letting old things go, the verb of your being is always there. It's like the breath. You've never done anything your whole life without breathing. You weren't always aware that you were breathing. But all the good times, all the bad times, every dream, every night, every day, you have been breathing. 32,000 times a day. 3,200 times a day. Three times a day. 3 breaths is all it takes to wake yourself up. Because those 3 breaths are a triangle. And those 3 breaths connect hip to heart to head. And it's really just one breath. Inhale, hold. Exhale, hold. Experience the fullness of your vitality. Experience the fullness of your release. So taking a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, Brahmari. being part is that I am not Alex, I am not in Kenora, and I am not doing yoga. I am being. I am not being Alex. I am being myself. Where am I right now? Well, Kenora was 100 years ago a different name. 1,000 years ago was a different name. 10,000 years ago it had no name. So being able to understand that time and space extends outward and contracts inward through meditation. Meditation is eternal. Meditation is immemorial. Meditation is infinite. You're moving from the human into your being, and that's where true peace lies. We'll never have peace in the world unless we first each have peace in ourselves. Because the world is at peace and people are at peace. And piece by piece, we heal the world, one soul at a time. Let's bring our hands together slowly, create some energy in our palms, draw it up over our head, and back down over our hearts. We're going to do one Brahmari. As we Brahmari, we're going to open up the palms, deep breath in. Feel that energy. If you feel something fantastic, if you feel nothing fantastic, what's important is that you feel. For the feeling of nothing is something. You feel nothing. That's something. So feel. It's what the world needs, what we need. Is people who are truly alive, people who are awake to their waking, alive to their living. Who cares what you do? It's just the human part. Being, that's important. Being peace. Because then you free yourself of all guilt, all shame. You are peace. And you extend that peace outward to everything and everyone. We're going to chant the mantra Om as we do this. And slowly bring the palms together. If you prefer Brahmari, you can do that as well. Deep breath in. Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. In your hearts, in your lives, in everything that you see, are, and be. The divine in you sees and shares the divine in you, in love, with love, and through love. Thank you so much for coming out today. It was a beautiful blessing. Namaste.
Namaste.
Yay!
High five, Alex.
Good job, girls. Is that what we were looking for?
It's like amazing.
Good.
It was amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I so needed that.
Awesome. And you know, you add in your pigeon, add in your this, add in your that.
Okay.
It's just basically kind of like a buffet of, you know,
Yeah.
as best we can do of what we went through over 3 days.
Yeah.
But again, they're just little things. And if you keep those little things, big things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get into handstand.
Love
It's
that.
that same candy cane like movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do great vinyasa.
Yeah.
It's that same movement. Just find that curve and ride that curve through your movement, through your long frame, your short frame, no frame, and just have it happen.
I got it.
And you know you're getting better at yoga when your sitting becomes easier and sweeter,
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh, I don't want to do anything else. So that's a good place.
That's an option, right?
Yeah, that's a great space to be in.
That's amazing. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome.